Welcome back to Conversations with Kate and Carrie, and we are so glad that you are joining us, and we have a guest. So we are so excited to have Re'Shaun join us today, and Re'Shaun is literally one of those people that you cannot not be excited to have her when she is in the room. So Re'Shaun is a master teacher. She's a master trainer. She's an entrepreneur. You name it, she's done it. And we're excited to learn from her and to have her share with you. And today, very few things really excite me or make me go, oh my Lord, that is so exciting. That is so cool. But I have to tell you when, and I do stalk people on social media. And Re'Shaun is one of those people that I stalk on social media. And so when I was watching Re'Shaun just about a month ago on social media, and when Re'Shaun was showing this whole series of events unfold on social media, I called Carrie and went, my gosh, Carrie, we have to have Re'Shaun on because this is so cool. Now, I am sure that everybody is going, okay, so she owns a program, she's got kids, and we all are like, yeah, we all have dramatic play, but you know what? Not too many people get their dramatic play, like the whole community involved in their dramatic play, and not only involved in their dramatic play, but they get people covering their dramatic play.
Okay. So your dramatic play center was a little bit of a viral moment there. Do you want to tell us a little bit about why you made, what you did that, nobody, there might be people who don't know. So,
okay. So I was going to say, I'm going to tee this up for you just a little bit. So now I've told everybody I'm excited because Re'Shaun's got this really cool dramatic play. Now, for those of you who may not have listened to Carrie and I before, and you don't know that A, Carrie and I are cousins, and B, we are children of entrepreneurs. I have to preface this because not only wasn't I an entrepreneur, I was an entrepreneur of people who owned general stores and grocery stores. So my grandparents owned a general store. My parents owned grocery stores. At one point in time, we owned 4 grocery stores. So I spent my life, my real life, in grocery stores. And literally when I was probably 3 and 4, I literally was doing inventory. I had my cans of food. I was, this is what we did. And in my parents' basement, my parents did not just keep a few extra groceries. My parents would buy the case lot. My parents were Sam's Club before there was a Sam's Club. They would buy the case of green beans. And so in the basement of my house in Ohio, we had cases of corn, creamed corn, green beans. So we played grocery store in my basement when I was, from roughly 7 to 11. Oh, that was funny. Okay, I didn't do that on purpose because, but yeah, so from 7 to 11, we played grocery store in my basement. So with that, Re'Shaun, please tell us and everybody who is remotely familiar with grocery stores in Texas, how you managed to make your little kids in your preschool have the best dramatic play experience ever. And not just a little bit, but you took it to a whole new level. Because I just loved the second round version of this. So.
Yes. So first of all, thank you ladies for having me on your podcast. It's very exciting. And yes, so I do have a play-based learning environment here in San Antonio, and I'll put it out there before I go into my story. We do have an HEB store in my program. And I wanted an actual real life play-based program that allowed children to operate the real world, but at a kid level. And it is the cutest thing to see the children mimic their parents. They mimic they mimic so many things. And it all stemmed from many, many, many years ago. We had a children's museum here in San Antonio. And in the basement of the children, just like Kate said, the basement of the children's museum, there was a huge HEB store because HEB was one of the big donors. And so the kids actually got to take the carts. There was a cash register. They got to go and pick their food, go to the cash register, swipe, do the conveyor belt to move the groceries along. And I was in love with that children's museum theme. They had airports, they had banks, they had all sorts of things that allowed the children to actually play like they're at the bank. And so when I had the chance to open my program, I was like, man, this is what I want to do. I want it to be a real life experience where the children get to act out what they see their mom and dads do. And the night before Thanksgiving, I went to HEB to get pie crust, and they didn't have any. And so I was like, okay, we're coming in for I got mini pie crust and bounced. I was out. But then I walked in and I saw this box, and I had to do a double, triple take because it was a tiny HEB store, and it had a rolling cart, and it had baskets, and it had food in the basket, food in the cart. So I'm like, oh man, I don't have a cart. The store's going to close in 10 minutes. What do I do? So what does any educator do? You make it work. So I drug the box to, mind you, I still had the pie crust in my hand. So I'm dragging the box to the thing. And I was like, oh, wait, I can't just have the store. I need the cart too. I was like, oh, so I went and got a buggy, got a cart, and then I went and got the HEB cart and the basket that came with it. And I was like, but I didn't come here for this. Is this going to be okay? Am I okay? Oh, yes, we're okay. So I'm having these conversations in my mind, like, no, this is okay. And I'm like super excited because I'm like, man, the kids are going to love it. This is going to be so cool. And so I texted to my staff at like 11:30 at night saying, this is what we got. And they're just like, oh my God. And I was like, yes, I told you it was coming. And so.
Okay, hang on. Now,
yes.
I told you I stalked you on social media. I just want to let everybody know. And Re'Shaun shared all this on social media the whole time. Now, she didn't share the excursion. I wish you had gone live, because had you gone live through the grocery store, I might have gotten in my truck and I might have driven down to San Antonio. Well, I'm just saying. I might have been down there.
It was a sight to see. It was a sight to see because I'm trying not to crumble this crust because I need this crust for the sweet potato pie. And so I'm like, oh my God, this was not what I came here for. And I was like, I don't even care if it's in the budget. I was looking at numbers in my head, like, is this going to work? Well, yeah, it's going to work. I don't know how, but we had, of course, you have the money, but still you're just like, but it's not in the budget, but it's going to be in the budget. And so I was like, oh man, this is going to change the game on everything. And so I brought it to the center and the kids were like, oh my God. Oh my, it's like, we have an HEB store, guys. And they're like, oh my God. And I kept the box in the back and they kept eyeing at it. Like, is it open? Is it open? Is it open? Is it open? And so one of my parents, I was like, hey, I need you to do me a favor. And he was like, oh, sure, Mr. Sean, I'll do it for you. It took him a while. And I'm just like, sir, open, 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 like that crazy Target lady. And so finally he came, he started on it and I was like, oh, you're not going to finish it. And then I left on a trip and came back and voila, it was there. I was like,
so you were waiting for Black Friday. You're like, it's Black Friday. Open.
And so I came back and I was like, I do my squeal. Everyone knows my squeal. When they know the squeal, she's uberly excited. And I did the squeal and the kids came running and they were like, oh my God. I was like, wait a minute. Cause they were like, ooh. I was like, nope, we gotta go through everything first. And so now the kids get excited, and we went live with the kids playing in the HEB store. And it's amazing to see as they're playing, how indignant they could get about their groceries. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? Like, slow your, like I was like, slow your roll. I got a customer. Wait, your turn, ma'am, sir, wait. Right. And so I was the cashier, and they were like, I want to be the customer. I want to be the customer. And so, so I had my apron on, I had my name tag, and then I would show the kids how to move the conveyor belt, because the conveyor belt works. And it has the little stopper that you can stop to let people know that this is your section and this. So it has that little part there. So I let them do it first, because, you know, you want it perfect. Because I'm like, this is HEB. You're not going to mess this up. Like, this is going to be the perfect place. Don't mess this up. But I had to like, okay, Re'Shaun, it's going to be okay. You know, where you can get another one in case it all explodes in your face. But once I let that go and I showed, you know, what the different parts are, the kids took it over from there. And they were like, Mama Sean, what do we do with this? I said, well, we can have a home goods section. So then we opened up another little section, or we had the plates and the forks, and then we had an Thanos's hand. So we put that, so different toys that they started bringing to the back, we added it to different parts of the store for like home goods or gardening or something like that. And so the children were learning how to take the buggy and shop. And when my school agers came, they were uberly excited. And we actually did a TikTok with them. And one of them was like, well, can we do DoorDash or something like that? Or no, can we do curbside? And so I was like, yeah, we can do curbside. Let's just see how it works first. But
okay,
and
so we've got some favor action, because I mean,
we
gotta do HEB. We got to plug the whole program, right? So we gotta get some favor action in there.
Yes,
little curbside, little favor. Okay.
Yes, a little curbside. Yes. So we've got our pots and pans and our home goods, and we got our little toy section, and then and it's really, really, really cute. And so we have a little.
So do we have anybody making homemade tortillas?
Well, here's the funny part. So there are tortillas in the bag, right? There's tortillas. It's all HEB brand, obviously. It's not Walmart or, you know, or you know.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Wait. You just almost let the cat out of the bag, because isn't there a second store?
It's more like a convenience store.
So yeah, because I mean, Walmart does have their little green grocer.
I wasn't impressed. That would be something you would do like as a that's a more of like a mobile activity. Like, okay, guys, it's so small, and so like I could just pick it up, put it in my trunk. Okay, guys, we're going outside to play. I mean, you know, it's so
wait. Okay, so I didn't hear. Okay, so now I didn't hear this. Okay, so all right, so let's finish up the HEB story, because so you created an awesome opportunity for these kids to have a real life experience where they got to interact with this toy.
Yes.
More than a toy. This is an actual immersive experience for them.
Yes, very immersive. Yes.
And you know, a lot of times schools go, okay, yeah, whatever. And if, you know, and on our podcast and through our director program, we are always telling people, take pictures, share with your community, tell people what you did. Now you did this. You did this on social media. What happened? Who picked this up? Who shared your experience?
It's funny that you asked that. So we did an official video, because we also have a TikTok account. And I was like, hey guys.
Okay, wait, so what's your TikTok account?
Our TikTok is Rainbow Children's Station. And then my TikTok is Re'Shaun _M.ed or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, I'm on there.
Okay, so before the podcast drops, will you let us know the official, so we can put it in the links?
I will.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know. There's so much going on. But so I posted the video, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have a bad habit, not it's a good habit. I think huge. I think big. I don't think small. And sometimes that is a hindrance because I don't ever know how big it can be. And are people going to think I'm weird? I'm as an educator, we think of the weirdest things. Our mind goes to the weirdest places that no one else goes to because we're educators. We're always finding cool new ways to involve and engage people in what we do. So I'm excited. I'm like uber excited. I mean, it's a pill to clean. It is. There's quite a lot of moving parts. But so we posted the TikTok. I said, my school agers were like, Mama Sean, let's do a TikTok. I was like, okay, let's do a TikTok. So we did a TikTok and I was like, hey, if y'all could tag HEB in this video, that would be great. And I left it alone and I went back and I was like, oh, that didn't work. So I, went back. I was minding my own business, being great. And next thing I knew, I get a notification from a verified company that liked my video. I was like, wait a minute. That's HEB. HEB liked my video and commented. Next thing I know, I get a follow from HEB. I was like, wait, what? So when the kids came home, I went and picked them up and I was like, guys, guess what? And they're like, what? I was like, HEB liked their video. They're like, no way. I was like, here. They didn't believe me. So I said, y'all need to do a thank you response video on our TikTok account and then let them know that we're grateful. So they did. Of course, we didn't hear anything. But HEB's comment was something to the effect of, we love seeing future little shoppers. This is awesome or something like that. And so I thought that was super cool to do that because my program is just that. In order for the child to learn about real world, we want to bring it to their level. But not only that, y'all, I'm getting excited just talking about it all over again. So my mom got involved and she was like, hey, I went to HEB and found some extra stuff for the store. I was like, get it all. Like, why are you talking to me? Just get it all, put it in the cart. She's like, you gonna pay me back? I was like, well, we'll think about it. So then it was like, they have an air fryer, they have a mixer, they have a steamer, they have a bunch of stuff, a pot and pan set, cleaning supplies. And y'all, the air fryer, when it's done, ding, it changes colors of what it cooks. I was like, oh no. I was like, that's how I know the chicken nuggets are done, because they're tinted brown. What? I was excited. And so in doing that, the kids were able to learn about and still learn about the different foods and how we cook them. And especially with everything with Texas Rising Star and the interaction that allows them to do. Can't nobody tell me my program isn't the best.
Okay, so I got a question. I got two questions for you.
Okay.
Do you hold open houses or events or anything?
I do not. I do not. That is a possibility. There are some things I have in my mind that I want to do.
So what's the name of the little HEB buddy, the little bag, the little guy? What's his name?
HEB buddy.
HEB buddy.
So he's a mascot, right? You can have him come out.
Really?
It doesn't cost you anything. You just reach out to your HEB and ask for him to come out as a character.
Okay, I might do that. Yeah.
Second, HEBs do field trips.
Okay.
Which include they'll give free fruit and stickers.
Okay. I want them to give me merchandise.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've been promoting their store. Oh, I want my return.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you haven't had a meeting with the manager of your local HEB,
I'm going to do that. There's a lot in my brain that I want to do, because I really think I don't want to tell y'all yet, but I really think this helps with the early childhood aspect of learning and hands-on approach to just a multitude of things that I think a lot of programs should invest in. Because it's real life experiences. And that's one of the things I loved about the children's museum that we had here from back in the day. It had airplanes that actually had the buttons and they made the sounds, and they gave a fictitious landing experience. Like you
Oh,
could
I
actually
remember that. I remember that
yes,
movie as
I
well.
love, I mean, you go up, I mean, I loved it. I loved that. And I was just like, oh my God, I would love to have something like that. As I do, I'm grateful for those centers that have what you do. Hey, God bless you. But that's not me. I don't want my children to sit and learn. I don't want my children to have to, do paper pencil. I don't want them to do that. I want them to actually learn. I want to reach those kinesthetic students that are really like, hey, I learned through hands-on, I learned through action. And along with that, we teach them the vocabulary. We teach them how to act in stores. How do you conduct yourself? We have a Chuck E. Cheese next door. And so when we go next door, the kids have their little game card. I said, this is your credit card. Keep up with your credit card. And those two experiences allow the kids to go next door. If we have the whole store to ourselves, we let them go and we stand in the front and we let them go and play the games, and they just click, 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 click. And they've got their card in their pocket and they're keeping up with their credit card. And so we always use that to reflect back to when we go to the store, we have to be responsible. We have to make sure that we are kind to our friends in front of us that are at checkout. And so we focus on the vocabulary that comes with shopping. And we have something else that we're working on too, that's going to be dropping really, really soon.
Very fun.
That goes along with HEB.
Great,
So
great.
excited about that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. HEB does a lot with their community partners. So for those who are listening, if you don't have an HEB near you or you don't have a local grocery store, it'll be real interesting. We'll have to get Re'Shaun to do a quick write-up on the other brand. I was hoping to hear more. At one point in time, Re'Shaun talked about having a second grocery store. I thought she had some dueling grocery store action happening.
You twisted my arm. Okay. So I did go to the Walmart and I found, I was minding my own business, of course, and I just happened to go down the kids section and I found a little Walmart version of their store. And when I say it's tiny, y'all can kick it over and it's going to be on the ground. It's really, really small. So shout out Walmart. It's very effective though. But the difference is this. So Walmart has it's a checkout and it makes the click, click. It makes that sound, but both of them make that sound when they check out.
Is it a self checkout?
It's an all self checkout. Yes. With a tiny little credit card. Both of them have credit cards. Walmart is small, and Walmart's will talk back to you. Thank you for coming. Have a nice day. So that's good. Well, it does. But one of the things I loved about Walmart is it has price points. And there's a scanner. So you can take the scanner and scan the price. And the prices are stickers. And so you put the prices everywhere and it lines up with it has pictures. So the kids know milk goes here, butter goes here, peas go here. So the kids are able to recognize based on the pictures that are on the
so that's some good early reading skills.
Yes, definitely. And math matching a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's cute. It's small. It's very small. It's almost like my first Walmart. Like it's really small. It's not, there's no buzz or anything, no screws, no saws or anything like that to put it together. So it's really easy to put together. And it's good for your mobile older tots, your young tots maybe. I would say just make sure you tape up, because they're all paper, like the little Doritos bags and all those are paper, and so they do tear, so you want to tape them. It's going to look a little but at least you can preserve them, or you just always go buy some more. Walmart does have the little blue baskets that you can always go buy with food in it. HEB has a whole line of appliances, and so yeah, it's just small. It's really cute. I mean, it's really cute, but HEB has my heart.
Yeah. So how did the parents react to it? What was the feedback from your clients?
They were happy because their children were happy. I remember parents don't get excited the way we do. They're just glad that, oh yeah. I mean, they thought it was really cool, but they didn't get excited. I'm like I did. I'm like, rude. Like, why aren't you getting excited like me? Like everyone ought to get excited like me. Like what's the problem? But the parents were excited because the kids were excited. And so to me, and that's how my parents work. If our kids are happy, then our parents are like, what else can we get? What else do you need? They're ecstatic and happy because our children are happy. And so it was nothing for them to come back. All the parents would come back and see it. And everyone's like, oh, wow. And, the kids were like, Mom, come look. And they're pulling stuff out. And I was like, we just cleaned that up. Like, do you know how long it took to clean that up? Because there's so many moving parts because you want to buy everything. And so we got to figure out how to store some stuff, but it's a lot to it. And it's really cute. We just bought a backdrop off Amazon. It says farmer's market. So that way, it can kind of immerse themselves in the background of being in a store a little bit. The first time we went live, we had some elevator music playing so the kids can act like they were at the store. And it got a little intense, you know how fighting in the checker line, it got a little intense, but but it went really well and the kids love it. And I say, okay, we're going to go to H-E-B store. They just drop what they're doing and take off. I'm like, wait a minute, what about the chair? What about, the kids love that. They're happy with the store and they fight to be the checkout. They fight for the cart. And so I'm like, okay, Mama Sean's going to get some more carts. I'm going to go get some more of this. I'm going to go get some more of that. And so I'm going to have to eventually go do that. So we won't have a mutiny.
Well, if you want a list of all the responsibilities like inventory and cleaning those carts and, you're never too young to have to work at a grocery store.
That is true. And they love it. They do not like stocking. They don't like the stocking, which is the cleanup part. But they would rather push the cart. They would rather be the cashier, and the cashier has an apron with the thing that says cashier. And so we have a little debit card that I had to put in a baggie and put it somewhere. And so it's cute. It's really cute. I get excited and I'm like, wait a minute, I can go play with the real stuff. Why am I getting excited about the toy stuff? Like we have a Keurig in the front. Let me go get the real Keurig. But the Keurig has a little K-pop things and they make sounds. Okay, it's not just there. They actually make the gurgling sound and they make the buzzing sound and the cooking sound and ding when it's done. And I get geeked out by that. And the kids are like, oh, like you don't get it.
Well, okay, I have an idea for helping to get the kids more into the stocking of the shelves, because it's the overnight stocking. You stock at night, so you could dim the lights and go, okay, guys, it's overnight stocking time. Everybody's got to stock. And then we have another day and then somebody else is on the cash register.
Oh, I like that. The only thing is where we have it, it's so small in the back. And I'm like, okay, I know we're supposed to have all these centers and all these zones and stuff in here. And I'm like, my mind keeps racing and adding more stuff. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to move blocks out the way. Who cares about blocks? I'm going to have to move blocks out the way so we can extend it. And it's going to end up being, the back is going to be like our community or our village, because we're taking real life stores and creating them for children. Things that they recognize, even McDonald's has one. McDonald's has a little checkout, little store thing. And so I'm trying not to get too excited because you only got so much storage, but the back is going to be called our community. And what is a normal center like art and dramatic play and all that is going to actually be this spot that parents go to with their children all the time, and they're going to be able to handle themselves. I believe in children being respectful and mannerable and being able to conduct themselves properly in public. And so by using these experiences as play, we turn them into life lessons as well. And it allows the children. That's why I don't have any problems with any of my children when we go in public. And I always say they're my children because they're mine. We don't have any problems when we go to Chuck E. Cheese. They don't throw fits. They don't act out. I don't have to do the whole thinking time, and I don't have to do any of those things because we prepare them for the real world in our program. So when we do go out to the real world, they know how to carry themselves at 18 months, at 2 years old, at 3 years old. And Beautiful. They can still be children. Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, Re'Shaun, thank you so much for joining us. And thank you for sharing your experience. And I love everything that you shared with us. And I'm sorry that I've stalked you on social media, but I'm not sorry. And
you can stalk me anytime, friend.
And
so you're going to find anybody looking in the show notes, we will have at least 2 of Re'Shaun's social media,
Yes.
maybe 3 or 4. We'll
Yes.
see how many she gets to us before we put this on.
I'll work on it tonight.
And I just want you guys to really share this show with anybody who loves HEB the way Texans love HEB.
Yes.
You got to share it. You got to share it.
Yes, you have to. It's a must. It's a must.
Absolutely. And then Re'Shaun, if you've got a group or a nonprofit that you are passionate about that you would love for us to have people send a $10 HEB gift card to, make sure you share that with us, because I think that would be a great way for us to have HEB share the love. And if there is somebody local to you that we would love to have our listeners give back on your behalf and the behalf of your kids, we would love to just kind of get everybody to, even if it's just a little bit, even if everybody just does a little $5, $10 gift card back from HEB. Back to somebody local there in San Antonio, we would love to be able to do that. And so,
absolutely,
everybody, thank you so much for joining us. If you like what you heard, share. If you're listening to us, you know that you can find us on all your podcast services. If you're seeing us on YouTube or on Facebook, Instagram, wherever you found us.
Wherever social medias are sold.
Yeah, wherever social medias are sold. All right. Thank you, everybody. You guys have a wonderful week.
Thanks for tuning in. We love bringing you real talk and fresh insight from the world of early childhood education. Be sure to follow us on social media to stay connected and catch all of the latest episodes. And if you're planning a conference, training, or special event, Kate and Carrie would love to speak to your audience. You can learn more about their keynote sessions and workshops at kateandcarrie.com. If you learned something today, share the show and leave us a review below. We'll see you next time on Childcare Conversations.